I believe with no ambiguity that we are on the right direction. People, in Nigeria, people have asked me, will this country, will Tinubu have done anything different if he won the election? I said no. He would have removed subsidy from day one also.
So guys, how many of us remember that video I just played now where somebody said that Tinubu wouldn't have done anything different if he had won the election? So I think now I have a perfect response from Tinubu to this man, and I wish that people can share this video so it gets to that man. So Tinubu was asked in this interview, what would he have done differently if he had won the election, or what will his party do differently from the other parties and other politicians? Here was what he had to say.
I want to talk about the fuel subsidy, but before I do that, let me ask you a question that just requires a very short and straightforward answer. You've said that our politicians are the problem in Nigeria. What is it that Labour needs to do differently to differentiate itself from the rest of the political parties? Or would you need to move away from Labour and set up an organic team that you may want to call the Obedient Party that will be made up of young Nigerians who are going to say it's got to be different? In very short, straightforward answer.
Well, we're struggling to do that. We're struggling to be different. It's going to be difficult. For me, building strong parties and institutions in Nigeria, again, has to do with leadership, the encouragement. That's why I said, if we go back to the parliamentary system, it will go a long way, because after elections, those parties that did well or didn't are part of the parliamentary system where they have leaders who can do this, continuous improvement, and government and its systems have to help.
Will the system influence the quality of personnel that take up the leadership?
Very
position?
important. I can tell you, you can. I keep saying this because I've served as a governor. So I know and there's no other way to measure. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, we don't use the reference. We don't look at where people are coming from. So I come here today and say, I can run News Central better than you. Nobody looks at whether people have run anything of this sort. They say, yes. Let him come. It's like, if I then maybe I give people even money. They say, Mr. K is useless. He doesn't give us anything. This man will, in fact, he will turn the place around. But if we look at the record, I can tell you that Mr. K, I was a governor with 30 members of my assembly from different parties. The entire assembly, not one from my party. I was a governor without one senator from my party in my state, without one National Assembly member. Everybody was, different parties, except me alone. And yet, the state became most peaceful, most secured in that 8 years. In fact, a president of Nigeria told one of the PDP governors, go and learn how Peter is with his House of Assembly member. And when that person asked my speaker, how is it that you are in a different party, and Peter is in a different party, and all of you are working peacefully with him? He said he brings everything on the table. Transparency.
Did he include SUVs?
We didn't have money.
Did buy SUV for anybody?
I said I was using 406. How can they be using something better than me? They couldn't have. We actually quarreling. When they said to me, my counterpart in other states, I said, we have no counterpart in other states. Because they could see me, I shut down Anambra State Governor's Lodge in Abuja. Everybody knew. Because Governor of Anambra doesn't live in Abuja, and we couldn't afford to be keeping it. They know that. I shut down the Presidential Lodge in Oka from building. I said, no, the president doesn't live in Oka.
So you recommend the same thing for all the governors in 36 states who have, a lot of them are actually living in Abuja and not in their state today?
Why would they? I even recommend that when you finish governing, you should live in that state. Not just, even after. I live in Onitsha. The only place that I have a house today in Nigeria that is built by me, that is my own, is Onitsha. If you see any other one anywhere, confiscate it and take it. I live in Onitsha, in my house.
Okay.
Everybody knows.
All right, let's move very quickly. The recent fuel subsidy removal has stirred significant public debate. What would you have done differently? Because I remember you did say that from day one, you say subsidy is gone. What would you have done
I didn't say from day one. I said I would remove subsidy.
You remove it. Okay.
You know, I didn't say from day one, and I wouldn't have done it
from day
just ordinary announcement.
Okay.
I said, go and read my manifesto. I have to first remove the criminality associated with the subsidy, because the criminality was over 50% of the subsidy. And then after removing it, we would have been able to present a detailed cost to Nigeria and replacing it with an alternative. What happens here is that people are ready to sacrifice.
And they're sacrificing
No,
now.
but you can't ask people to fast when you're feasting. Everybody have to fast at the same time. So you cannot be in a party, enjoying yourself in picnic and everything, going around with the new jets and yachts and everything at the expense of the public. That is not leadership.
Are you claiming that
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not giving leadership to Nigeria today?
Well, I said you can't buy New York, you can't buy yachts. You can't be renovating houses of vice president. Where did Osibanjo live? People can live in their houses and govern Nigeria. Where did they live? When I had no place to live in Oka as a governor, I asked them, don't we have any other government house? They said there's a small 3-bedroom house in Onitsha. I went to live in Onitsha. I was living in Onitsha for the 1 year. Ask anybody in Anambra State. I lived in Onitsha. Onitsha Oka is 30 minutes until we're able to build a new, and where we built and I maintain it, when I was governor, throughout the year I was governor, I lived in a 3-bedroom house. Because Downing Street, where the British Prime Minister lives, is 4 rooms. 4 rooms. For an economy that is 10 times our economy, more than. Per capita in the UK is about $40,000. Per capita in Nigeria is not up to 5% of that.
So if I were to put you on the top of a roof to say, scream to Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what would you be saying to him about the idea of Nigerians saying the presidency is living large? What would you be saying to him?
Please, cut the cost drastically. There's too much waste. Why would we have Asoro Clinic being built for 22 billion naira when your national clinic, your number 1 hospital, have less than 2 billion? It takes from Asoro to national clinic can't be more than 5 kilometers. So why the clinic? When Trump had problem, they didn't take him to White House clinic. They took him to the military hospital where every other person, when Boris Johnson had COVID, they took him to hospital. Me and you can go. It's hospital. Why are we always doing what is wrong?
Okay.
It's just hospital. And he has ambulance all over the place. Even when he's moving, including governors, they move with ambulance. With other people. So if anything happens, the ambulance will take him to the national hospital.
Yeah, excellent.
Should actually be there.
Yeah, okay. You've called on Nigerians to demand transparency from the NNPCL regarding fuel subsidy matters. What mechanism would you suggest to ensure this transparency and accountability? What kind of...
I said it. We have to show what is being removed and where it's being applied. You don't know what the subsidy is today. You don't know what is being removed. So what we are saying is, oh, subsidy gone. Electricity subsidy gone. Soon they will remove subsidy on air. If they have a chance, they will charge us for air. But we are not saying we will not do that. But tell us where it's going. Now we're being told there will be increase in VAT, increase in tax. There will be if you see people speaking language like, oh, Nigerian tax to revenue to GDP is low. Who are you taxing? You have 130 million people who are living in poverty, who have no job. Are you going to tax them? Where are they going to pay? They are not eating, so how will they pay you tax? Tax is a source of productivity. It's a bank account. You have to put in something before you withdraw. So we want to charge them, but let us put something. What Nigeria want to see today, and what I want to see, is let Nigerian politicians start sacrificing. We can no longer continue. Did you hear people speculating about the number of jets that went to even China and other places and everything? We are still enjoying, celebrating every day.
Okay, let's move quickly. This is our final few minutes on this conversation. So the Labour Party is currently facing internal crisis, particularly with clashes over the establishment of an interim executive committee. What is your perspective on this issue, and how can the party move past these internal struggles? What needs to be done for the Labour Party to be exceptionally different from the other political parties?
Well, that's what we're trying to do. But like I keep saying, it is a difficult thing in a criminalized system where whatever effort you put in, the criminals around you in other parties will try to dismantle what you're doing. Kade, I was governor of Abga in Anambra State for 8 years. For the 8 years I was in office, Abga was in crisis. It's the same thing. Because people will always want to put in the problems and everything. That's why I said that even in part of building and governing good governance, I, Peter, will ensure that all the parties have good internal democracy and govern well by supporting them, by making sure we exist as a body, we exist as a people. I will engage both the opposition, everybody, for us to come together in love and face and salvage the place. But what you see now is that to sustain the criminality, what we politicians today do is to continue to divide the system along tribe, along religion, along parties. Can they tell me the only reason why tribe and religion is still traveling in Nigeria is because when politicians don't have anything to offer in terms of competence, capacity, capability, and compassion, they replace it with tribe. So you say, Peter, can we know where you're coming from? How did you govern Anambra State? What did you listen? You were owing to salary. He said, no, I'm an Igbo man. What has it to do with what you asked?
Okay.
If you say, where is your certificate? I'm an Igbo man, so I should be voted for. When you say, how are you going to do this? Oh, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian, and I've challenged people, let's go to Indonesia. The highest Muslim country in the world today is Indonesia. The Pope had just visited Indonesia recently and are praising the government. He didn't say these people are Muslims.
Yes, okay, very
He
quickly,
just left.
because
then you have other places like that. In Dubai, I always said, the Catholic Church in Dubai, go there, on the wall you see it. The land and the church was built by Emir of Dubai, who is a Muslim. In Nigeria, is the opposite. Have you seen where Christians buy bread cheaper?
No.
In Oyo, or Muslims buy bread cheaper in Kanu, or they buy fuel. I was in Katsina last week. Fuel is 1,002.
Yeah.
In Oyo, the same thing.
Same price,
because they are putting 80 million budget that will go into critical area, into unwanted children, or building dustbin in Oyo, which you know
okay,
will
very
never
quickly,
be built.
because we have to wrap up now very quickly. So tell me, do you feel very excited and happy about what is said to be the achievement of the only governor in your political party, Governor Alex Otti?
Yes. It's in the right direction. And I continue to tell him, whenever I have the opportunity to say to him, you're doing well, but continue in that direction. But always know that it's about the people. So always listen to the people. Don't just listen to people saying you're doing well. Go also, governance is demand-driven. It is about the people of Abia State. Use their resources effectively and everything. And we work cordial and everything.
Still on your party then, the person who has become the interim leader of the party, the interim chairperson, there are allegations of corruption. In just 2 sentences, how do you feel about the allegations?
I disagree with that.
Okay.
I've said it before. This man was Minister of State for Finance in Nigeria. He was not accused of any misappropriation or stealing. He was a substantive minister of finance, Minister of Finance. when he was managing the billions for the country, he was not accused of misappropriation or stealing. She was a senator. So she was a minister of state, substantive minister, and she became a senator. In all this, he was not accused. He was only accused of about misappropriating or managing maybe 100, 200 million money when he became a campaign director. It's like me coming here and paying you for an advert, which happened not just to even some of the media
houses some years ago.
They were being asked to refund money. They were paid for adverts because they are part of corruption. You cannot go to market and call market woman who sold, like going to a restaurant and say, because they came here and had a huge bash for your wife's party, that the restaurant owner should refund money for the party because the money you used for it is stolen. How would they know?
Okay.
So for me, we need to separate all this. She is one of those Nigerians who cares about Nigeria. We discuss issues of Nigeria every day. And I discuss it with her. And that's why I said, you can't bundle all of us together all the time. There's a time you separate just few of us and say, this person is doing that, this person, and we need to look at people's background.
Because we have to go. Because we have to go. I won't go without asking you. Will you continue to be a member of the Labour Party, or are you considering your option, especially in the face of Chinese whispers about Kwankwaso and yourself?
Quite frankly, for me, I'm not desperate to be Nigerian president. I'm desperate to see Nigeria work. If I see people who can do the work better, I will. I've even had people who said I should not come out in 2027. And I said to them, offer yourself. And we will not put everybody on a scale. If they're better, I'll vote for them.
But would you stay with Labour Party in the next election if you're contesting?
Well, yes, and we'll be here. And if anybody is coming for us to negotiate or come together, you must tell me what for purpose. I will not join anybody for state capture or for winning election. I want anybody to tell me, how are we going to ensure that no child is left behind? How are we going to put those millions of out-of-school children back in school? How are we going to create jobs?
Would you say yes to Kwankwaso joining you as collaborators to make sure that you have the support of the North and the South? Would you?
We must first establish what we are going to achieve by that coming together. Collaboration is not just going to be for state capture and continue the same consumption. So if it is collaboration for production, we will. So we want to dismantle the two biggest jobs in Nigeria is what I want to dismantle.
So your answer to Kwankwaso collaboration and coming together will be a yes?
To anybody who wants to move Nigeria from consumption to production. For anybody who wants to pull people out of poverty, bring out-of-school children into school, and make it productive. Yes. But anything short of that, I'm not a part of it.
Thank you so much.
I keep on asking myself, how does people come out and say something that they know that is not true because they want to counter somebody or they want to say negative things about somebody? You can imagine coming out to even say that Tinubu wouldn't have done anything different because Tinubu is not the leader. Tinubu did not win the election, bruh. He was rigged out. But then why can't you focus on the one that won the election? What have he done in Nigeria? What have he done after the fuel subsidy? The money from fuel subsidy is nowhere to be found. The loan they collect is nowhere to be found. The tax money is nowhere to be found. Nothing. All our money are being squandered the way that we don't even know. They are all busy on their own personal interest. Tell me how can they buy a private jet to the president of Nigeria, whereas we don't have any food to eat in Nigeria? They are renovating the VP's house with billions of naira, whereas people are dying of hunger in Nigeria. And then tomorrow somebody came out and said that he believes that this government is on the right track, that they have good intention for the masses. Where is the intention? Where is that intention? I want to see it, because the level of hunger in Nigeria does not show that these people have the people they're leading in mind. Because how can they be spending money on irrelevant things? Yes, because What they should be focusing on now is how to tackle insecurities. But candidates that know because of us, they have hand in the insecurities happening. They've been exposed multiple times that they are the ones sponsoring bandits. They've exposed multiple times that they are the ones giving money to bandits, giving arms to bandits. Because the reason why in the same country the government will reinstate back Boko Haram members back in society that they are repented, that have given their life to Christ, and then you went to bring back extra back to society, and then some even went ahead to steal some arms and ran back into the bush to continue their activities. That means that these people are the ones sponsoring bandits. Very clear, it's not even hidden, and it's very clear that that's why they cannot fight insecurity in Nigeria. That's why they cannot end insecurities in Nigeria. Because tell me why for over how many years now we are still battling with insecurities, and those bandits these days, they don't hide their face. They will go to the bush, they will selfie themselves and post on social media, but the government cannot still go and bring them. But the government are busy looking for TikTok critics, people that come out to criticize the Tinubu government. That's the only people this police are arresting or this army are arresting. But why can't you go to the bush and arrest those bandits that have shown their face? Is because they are connected, they are working together. And Tinubu is even going outside to go and look for foreign investors who will come and invest in a country like Nigeria that don't have security, in a country that don't have light. They pay a big money for tariff and electricity. They now pay big money again for network tariff in Nigeria. I like they used to pay big money to get small data, and then you are expecting foreign investors. You are playing. You cannot bring foreign investors in a country that like Nigeria that does not want the growth of the people. Because tell me why innocent left Nigeria to Ghana. Tell me why foreign companies are leaving Nigeria to outside country, and then you want to go and bring foreign investors to Nigeria. It does not sound right. First of all, fix your home and they will come. So guys, I like guys to air your views in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe. It's your boy again. Stay tuned, guys.